I don't really like those kinds of minty warfare. Sometimes it puts you a little too high. The expectation? Yeah. Be as it may, I want to thank you first of all for your invitation and for the confidence that you have reposed in me. I am very much appreciative. Last time I stood in these hollow walls would have been what, 4 or 5 years ago? Yeah. We had a wonderful time in the presence of God. Tonight is my task to speak with men on the topic communication. Women do not like when men go silent, but men don't mind being silent, even though it is fraught with danger. Sometimes it's good for you to allow your voice to be heard. I propose this evening to provide us with an overview of communication. Then I am going to open up for kind of interactive. All right. I have with me the mother of Rabel and Javier, as was mentioned. She's my tech manager. I'm still a novice, but I get there someday. All right. Thanks again for having Rev. How are you doing? Right, yeah, brother. Thanks again, man. When I last stood here, I was young again. Why isn't it? So maybe you take a chance on me tonight, given that I was wiser then. All right. All right, so communication. If I were to just direct your attention over there, and you are free to ask questions as we go along. All right. The poet says, a word fitly spoken. Who has it? Is like apples of gold in jars of silver. To be a skillful communicator is not a gift, it's a skill. It's the right word appropriateness and all of that. All right? Let's go through. So communication, what is that? Communication is the exchange of information via verbal or non-verbal. Communication is a process by which information is exchanged and understood by 2 or more people. You and your wife, you and your girlfriend, you and your husband, and vice versa for females who are not here. Communication is the exchange, okay, by 2 or more people, usually with the intent to motivate or influence action or behavior. One of the problems we understand that men folk are having, they do not like when our women folk try to express themselves. But it's sometimes good to hear them as they speak, because we can learn a lot. Okay? In terms of how we are wired. Okay? We are wired in a kind of way whereby the brain is always eager to swing us, okay, from logical to pleasure. So we have to understand where we're at and what we are. As I said before, you can interject. Next slide, please. Communication. You don't have it? And by the way, it might interest us to know that in the church, of the 2 forms of communication, we go with nonverbal, which is easily misunderstood. Easily misunderstood. All right? So we have to work on that as a culture. Right? We prefer to pout, not talking. Can I just keep my silence, please? Or so let's say something and I be misunderstood. We go in nonverbal, we fold our arms, we put up an attitude, facial expression. Communication is about listening to the other person clearly And by the way, the gentleman with whom I've been working, thank you for the guidelines that you gave to me. You're a policeman?
Technically, not fully.
You're half a police?
Yeah, half a police.
Communication is about listening to the other person clearly, handling difficult situations or disagreements with neutral respect. Mutual respect and clarity. Say what you mean, say what you desire, and say clearly. And neutral respect. So there'll be no misunderstanding. I remember, Rev, you're here. I remember many years ago, I was invited to a home in Moriah. Is there someone from Moriah here? I was invited to a home in Moriah. So what we call him the host anyway. And she served lunch, but she gave the pastor the biggest piece of chicken. Piece of chicken. Now the piece of chicken was placed on my plate. And when the gentleman of the house came and sat and realized what had gone wrong there, he got up, went inside a slammed door, slammed the door, never came out, never.
Wow.
All he should have said was, Mary, what is this favoritism or your relationship? Communication. Say what you mean, respect, clarity.
What is communicated?
Non-verbal. Non-verbal. Yeah. If you don't know how to read the sign, you will get tired. Communication is taking an active step toward gaining information, understanding about the person.
Well, a quick question.
Please.
Maybe the words that would have come out may have spoiled the whole afternoon, so I decided to go in quietly and slam the door. Nobody walk away quietly without saying anything but slam the door.
Could it be that he knew that she would have no put up on him? Maybe we should have rushed him. Yeah. You don't know because you don't really know what's going on between the two of them. Mm-hmm. And I felt embarrassed. Yeah. So I didn't eat the pizza chicken. Because I knew exactly what had gone down there. So, don't do that. Understanding the person, person's temperament. Mm-hmm. Okay, and we find all of these in church. So I'm so happy you have organized this session tonight. Because perhaps one of our biggest problems in the church is communication. Saying the right thing, the right moment, the right person. Very important. So he says to me, the Forester, I'm angry. Every time I think about what happened to me and so on and so forth. I said, no, could it be that you're not really angry, but you're hurt? I'm hurting? He said to me, you can. Person's temperament, person's mood swings, very important. Understanding the other person. Taking time out to understand, even before you respond. Something happened tonight, you regurgitate, you mull on it, and you talk about it too. Hey, John, I want to see you. I know the other day something. Yeah, I think I can deal with it now. Ready for you. Be able to assess, look at John, all right, the person's attitude, person's situation, and challenges. There were those of you who were around. There was a gentleman who lost control and lost out in the country, and he chopped his wife in pieces. I had been tasked with, on behalf of the THA, what happened, prison. I wanted to see him, and I went around Dr. Lake in the jail there. He was crying. I managed to calm him down, and I asked, what went wrong, man? He said to me, Dr. Forrest, you know, all of these years I married my wife, I never really understood her. And I never thought she would have cheated on me. And I lost control. Perhaps I hadn't taken the time to understand. Then he said to me, I didn't want to kill her. When I landed the first job, you know the case? And I realized, juggler? Oh, yeah. He said, just continue, because you realize it's all over. The point I'm trying to make, you see, gentlemen, you have to listen so as to understand. When you listen, you come to understand. Okay, the Jamaican Rasta said, get out of here with your understand, it's overstand. No, understand. What's understanding? What's above, what you're working with. Understand. You listen so as to understand. Person's temperament, but it's not just the personality. You follow, but with you don't understand. So you react. When you react, back it up. And sometimes you have to apologize and forgive. One of the things I like about forgiveness, forgiveness sets two people free. It sets the offender and the offended. Two people. I am sorry, I forgive you. Two people. The offended and the offended. So, it happened between you two. Okay? You had a kind of argument, whatever. You go and you apologize. The person who would have offended you feel good that you have forgiven. And you feel good having extended that. And you begin to rebuild the relation. Next slide, any question? Feel free to answer you. Communication functions like vitamins, sustaining us through tough times, nourishing us. Communication helps us to build, maintain healthy relationships. It is the lifeblood of constructive power. There are many young men in the church. They come and they go. You'll be surprised if you just sit with them and have conversation. How much you come to learn where they're at and what their struggles are. Yeah. Very, very, very interesting sometimes when you sit with them. Because not that they don't want to approach, you follow? But at the end of the day, they will think about it, reluctant to do it. But eventually, when you, with brothers in the church, you follow? You've been observing, you've been watching, you move, you do timing, great things happen. You see me here? Communication? How old are you there, Forrester? Must be 60 years old. I was in Jamaica. I'm from what we call a middle class family in Jamaica. And I'm here tonight a Christian pastor because of a young lady. You don't mind my sharing? You don't mind my sharing? Do you?
No, go ahead.
A young lady who saw me, she's a teacher. She said to me, Dad Forrester, you know, God could use you. And I said, Miss Newton, if you look at a husband, you're on the wrong side of the road, you're walking on the right side, cross over to the left. And she continued. Press. One day, okay, we were able to have a conversation, listen to her. Yeah. And what she had to say to me resonated. Even though I pretended that I had no interest. But it broke to me. And it got me. Amen. Here I am. 1976. Where are you? 1976.
I wasn't even a thought yet.
Let's go. What she said to me, she said, Jesus loves you. We can make a difference. Because you see, Daddy was a Jehovah's Witness. Jehovah's Witness all kind of crazy stuff. God wants to change your life. Communication. Constructive dialogue, lifeblood, constructive dialogue, healthy relationship. Yeah. And then you have those, when I really can't talk, what am I going to say? You know, what am I going to say? Will I be able to say the right words? You know, when you get down, you see how you cross that bridge, if and when you were to find yourself standing in front of it. Next slide. how we communicate, what we say could either build or harm. One of the words that the gentleman said to me was what you call a word appropriateness. Right words to say. How we communicate and what we say could either build or harm friendship, relationships, or change situation for the better. You're going through a rough patch and someone says, hey John, tough times don't last, but tough people do.
I like what you said from the last,
Pastor?
from the former slide.
Yes, sir.
You say communication like vitamins.
Yes, sir. Yeah. You taking me banana? Yeah. Vitamins. Okay. You see, without that, we're just confusing each other. Trying to understand each other, we just can't. It's like vitamins. And it does something to us. Okay? As a community, as a society, as a congregation.
If I may.
Yes.
Yes. So as I say, I usually go to a lot of workshops and so on. I think one of the challenge for men is that ego.
Is what, sir?
The ego.
Oh, the ego.
So that same vitamin that you're talking about, some persons don't want to risk sounding weak. So they're hurting, but they can't communicate.
You mean the macho thing?
Yeah. They have a challenge, but can't communicate that. So, as you mentioned, as persons in the church, we have to be observant, but we speak with persons and so on.
Yeah.
But it's a bit difficult to get that bit of communication because you may see a problem, but with no feedback from the person.
Yeah.
You don't know if to wait, to be patient, how aggressive to be. You know, what is the approach in getting the person to be comfortable to communicate? So yes,
You see, as long as you speak to the person, if I say to you, Jesus loves you, those words would not have been blown away by the wind. Those words are with you. And even though you perhaps will say to me, Forrester, you have nothing to do with your time, it doesn't negate the fact that what I say to you. You remember when she said she loved you? The first time? I'm talking to nobody. Everybody. When she said she loved you, you told her, hey, no, come on, man. I don't stop them and kind of go stop stick. Moving on. Any other thing? So communication. Okay? Change situation for the better. I want you to follow where I'm going because what I have done, I have synthesized all that you have sent me. Yeah. Okay? Synchronize everything into the presentation. In communication and in our conversation with each other, we must choose our words wisely. Wisely. And if you don't know what to say, there is no law against it. I will get back to you on that. Or give me some time to think about it. Or let me chew on that. I'll regurgitate something. Or choose our words wisely. I am in the church tonight, and I have always had respect for God's house. But the thing that I told you about the gentleman who destroyed his life up in the country there, yeah. Is one question he asked her. And she gave him ramblings. May I speak? Can I say? Pastor? He said to her, do you make love with him the way we do? And as I said before, the brain is wired to take us away from, okay, that is run unto pleasure. That is only the wired. Man is a pleasure-seeking, pain-avoiding creature. Pleasure-seeking, pain-avoiding, that's all. Do you and the gentleman make love like me? And she gave the fragments. If she had only chosen her word wisely, the outcome would have been different. And as soon as she said it, he hit a blind spot. And that was it. If only she had said, why would you think of such a thing? She said to him, you don't come close. Don't do this. you not come close? He said, Dr. Forrest, when she said that, I make up my struck him. Okay? Just- So what sparked the whole thing? What brought about the whole?
Communication. With choice of
Choice of words. Words appropriateness. So, poor choice of words can devastate us in an instant. In an instant. Therefore, we must choose our words wisely. And I like this part here. I did the research, I put it together. But it's speaking to me too. During those, especially during those heated exchanges, when we listen with the intent not to understand, but to respond. Does that put something to it? When we listen with the intent not to understand, but to respond. Not to understand, but to respond. She's having a bad day. Misunderstanding. She misunderstood what you had to say to her, what you said to her, using certain words and so on. But you're so eager to respond. You don't talk to me like that. I'm not taking that from you. Fail to understand that she's having a bad day. When we listen with the intent not to understand what is. Next slide, please. Gentlemen, anywhere? Comfortable? Rolling? Okay, cool. And over there, Suwadanga, there's those who sorry. We're going to come to that. Those heat exchanges, okay? And arguments. We had a board meeting one night, many years ago in Jamaica. Peter Sweet Church is in Missouri, Westmoreland. It's far away from here. The elders came and they were voting on a matter. Decision had to be made and it would have resulted. Miss Etienne, we could call her, she had to be dead by now, man. No longer talking about 1970s. She was way up in Egypt. And she was not pleased that the results would not have gone in her favor. And she had a come up in the board meeting. You know when Pastor Brown told her to go outside? You know what we saw come out the first time? Emanating from him. Emanating from the bosom. Who called the bosom? She was smoking on her way to church. Clenched it. Put it on the fire, put it in the box with the other cigarette, into the meeting. And while going on, the pastor told her, Sister Hetty, your conduct will not be tolerated. You may go and cool off and come back. It's very called fire. Fire in the bosom. Those heated exchanges and arguments, which sometimes compounded, misunderstanding, fueled by anger. Anger is an emotion. Anger is an emotion. It has to be controlled. Anger is an emotion. It has to be controlled. We all experience anger. Yeah. Commissioner call in and talk something when it really makes sense. You might experience a little bit of liberty there, all right? So you compare living that down. It's an emotion. You have to deal with it. Because if you were to get the better of you, it could mess you up. So sometimes you walk away. Sometimes you drink a cool glass of ice water and come back. Or you take a drive, go to Kentucky, take some chicken, and go back. So where are you doing? Well, let's carry on from where we left off, sir. With all respect. Anger has abated. Okay? Misunderstanding is fueled by anger, which in turn gives way to violence. Regrettable actions. Because you see, at the end of the day, the consequences will stay. The consequences won't go here. The consequences of our actions will stay with us. They don't move. We move on. It's one so the consequence. How could I have been so foolish? Look what has, you've come up with me as a result of. You moved on, you know. Life is good now. Consequences. It's like scars in your body. Scars stay. Scars. If you put plastic surgery, it doesn't matter. The scars stay there. You only fooling yourself. Yeah. Okay? Plastic surgery. It's like some ladies that put a lot of makeup, so they want to look young. No, you're not. I'm telling them, they're not young. It's right there. Under the thick layer of wire. If the rain falls and wets some of them, you know what's going to happen. Regrettable actions and painful consequences. Painful consequences. I don't know what you did with that man. I don't know what he came from. I think he went to prison. Took him down to training and he was sentenced. The same man in country. I don't know if he got a life sentence or something. And they have over there now, Bible, Mr. President, you quoted it. Huh? A soft answer. Turn it away around. But grievous words.
Still.
Star anger. Yeah? You know who's talking there? Is that Jesus talking there? The fellow who passed in the church. So you wonder whether or not he had some problems. I think it's Pastor James talking there. Isn't it so, scholar? James talking there.
That's a type of
No.
Solomon speaking there. The king talking there. Not Jesus. Soft answer. Turn it away wrong with grievous words. And the thing about it is, when I was a primary school teacher, tried to train I had 3 things that do not return, right? Yes, right. Spoken word. They only need the one that's ready to leave the other two. Spell out wrong. We will neglect an opportunity. We deal with the first one. The spoken word. Never. No matter how. Okay? Once you adopt, keeping what Solomon is recommending, okay, going for the soft answer. Once you adopt that approach, that action, choice of words, word appropriateness, you would have killed the monster while she's small. Or very thought-provoking. Watch the word monster. Yes, officer. Watch the word monster. Kill the monster while it is small.
What about provocation? You ask me, you do something, and I give you a soft answer. You know the woman sometimes.
One of them up there.
They give a soft answer. And they respond, I don't want to use the word aggressively, but how they respond. I might say, open your mouth now. Here's a man, open your mouth and talk. And I still answering soft because they're trying to control. And they keep provoking you, or trying to escalate the situation.
Poking you.
Yeah.
Poking you.
Until he come out.
Until you come out from you.
Yeah.
Well, sirs, gentlemen, you have to understand how women are wired. Until you understand how they are wired, you're not going to get your mathematics right. If you were to go silent, the female will get worried. Because her strength. So let's just. Her strength is in her mouth. That's how she's wired. She'll talk. And when she's finished, she's the first to come and hug you. Maybe start crying.
But me and what that you don't get me vexed.
Yeah. And sometimes they do it in order to find out exactly where we are at.
That's right.
And how we're thinking.
That's
I saw a quote once that said you could only be provoked if you participate in it, any provocation. So provocation could really take place to participate in it.
But then wouldn't you agree? Won't you agree that if you were to remain silent, you're still participating?
Yeah.
Non-verbal. Non-verbal.
Well, say something now.
Yeah. It's very discreet. So you're not talking to me. You're not answering me.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. You kill the monster while it is small. What's the sword that you're going to use? The sword is up there. A soft answer. Turn it away. Previous words. Start. Next slide.
So before we move on,
Hold Sister Foreign.
in some cases, a soft answer doesn't really turn up very hard. In some cases, because you may want to bring across a point, but this person is so soft spoken that the point doesn't really be effective when you lift your voice.
Means a pointless point.
Pointless point.
Pointless point. You have such thing. Pointless point. You rate the point, but the point is pointless. Clarity or something. So you're saying that would have been a soft answer.
Yeah, soft answer. They want to bring across a point, but the person don't want to really answer, they have to raise their voice.
There is a soft answer and a soft point. You're making a soft point. That's a soft answer.
Oh.
And therefore, you're going to mama because you're making a point.
Not a soft answer.
That's an answer.
And it's a point she attacked it.
Yeah, point here.
She attacked it. As I said before, women do not like when men go silent. Huh? Because that's how they
They're
are
wired to talk. They're wired to talk. So we had to talk.
All right, words
To
to
respond.
calm our lurking fears. When you talk about communication, you talk about words. All right? Jamaicans say lyrics. What are lyrics? Words for song. He knows how to string them, he strings them away. That's his desire. Is that? Words can create new perspective. Yeah, new perspective. Seeing things from different points of view. They can injure our ego. Somebody mentioned ego over there, sir. Ego? Yeah. And inflame our hearts. Okay? Effective communication. Next.
We say inappropriate words can bury you.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Did you say that, Mr. Brown? Surely I did. I have no problem repeating them. But so you have implicated yourself. There are consequences here before you do it alone. Oh, so sad. Officer?
All right, you were saying, show the ego, use lyrics and all of that, right? But the Bible says you mustn't lie. So sometimes the lyrics, thou shalt not lie, but sometimes we find ourselves saying things.
You know what the Bible says all ago? Lies are present help in time of trouble. Lies are present help in time of trouble. I'm not advocating. I'm not advocating.
Baby, find I look good. You know, okay. She asked her question, baby, find I look good? And in the back of her mind, I know she don't look good. So we're going to tell she.
Oh, that's easy. Babe, you find. You better again. You find your question to her. Her question to
No, you.
Babe, find a good.
Yeah.
And then you would say what?
Well, if I tell she knows bacchanal, so.
No, just silly. Just silly, don't move.
Don't go in.
You don't know. You don't know. That's an old woman thing, right? It's only you look good. Or you look good. You don't know. And she said, know what? Because she sometimes say no.
Yeah, know what?
Don't be
Yeah.
there.
But I guess it's not how you say it to her. If you skip and say, how you find you looking? And then she will look to think that, this is so, because she knows sometimes herself that she's not looking appropriately, but she want to hear what you will say.
My personal experience is, you're looking good, baby. I'm gonna ask Rani, let me stop. But I touch her too often. You know, when I touch her often, she said, no, I ain't taking your word for truth again. So every time I ask her, she say the same thing. Let me go and ask
Your
somebody.
mama got to go for opinions.
Let me go and ask somebody else. But you know, you could.
Well, my wife would listen to me when she asks a question. This looking good, they're looking good, they're looking good. I say, this not looking so good. Do something like that.
Oh, you know, Pastor, you gentlemen from now on, you take a mic and speak. She's
I'm saying that my wife would ask me, is she looking good? Right? My hair look good, or what does this one look good and all that? She would take my advice. Bishop, and tell you that it's not up that I said that I just the trends are just and she just take my advice.
You know what she's doing too, Pastor?
She's doing it.
She comes for you to look her over and compliment her.
Yes, but what she looks like
You know what she's doing to you? She comes to you for you to look her over and give her a compliment. You know what she's doing to you? Who said that? Who said I should have? Yeah. You know what Mama is doing to him?
You made his wife change about 5 years in one morning.
No, but she never had a problem. Boy, she never had a problem going through those 5 years. You know what she's doing to you when she comes to you and says, could you zip up this thing? Having been zipping them all her life. She comes to you today. I really could do this. And then she stands and she looks and you look and you know what she's doing to you? Anyone have the answer? How many of you have fallen in love and are in love and would have fallen out of love?
All
and
of
tried
us.
to make up.
All of us.
You know what she's going to you when she comes to you? So, we went to Antigua de to bury her. Yeah. She always goes to her husband to put up the zipper, even though she got wet. Then the husband asks, what's going on? She says to him, I am showing to you how beautiful I am. And you challenge that? You never challenge. Next slide, next. When she comes here and stands in front of you, is what we call a non-verbal. She's actually saying something and she expects to hear something. Come on. Effective communication. What's the time frame?
8 o'clock.
Well, we're there. Okay. So we just went then. We're going to bring it back for another session. A powerful agent in communication is the right words. Over the years, they have been used to make us laugh. We are here because of the right words spoken of healing. I love you. You are the decimal in my mathematics. Anything apart from Dr. Max Brown. So please remember that the real
Pastor, we gotta get some lines from you. We gotta get some lines from you.
Over the years, when I come back, I will tell you how I met her. In 1980 something, but not tonight, we don't get time, right? Over the years, they have made us laugh. That's where you are, right?
Yeah.
Right. We can't disagree. Yeah. They offer us hope, devastation. They help us in our determination, better understand each other as we previously mentioned. Yeah. Words we can make our noblest intentions. Yes, not in my mathematics. Noblest intentions, you know? Yeah. And our deeper desires.
No.
When you meet a young lady, it's the first word that you would have mentioned, spoken, that's what will stay with her. Whether you rise or fall thereafter, it will be built on the first utterance. And you can't say you're so different from the rest. You can't allow that. Yeah, got it. It's nice to see you. Over there, words continue to shape our actions and our behaviors. Words help us to understand. Yeah, the way people feel. When you come to the church, there are lots of young men and young women in the church who just want to be heard. They just want to be heard. I would have done an injustice if I didn't bring you this out based on the information that you said. Yeah. Lots of young men in the church and young women, they just want to be heard. They just want to be, you befriend him, you befriend her, okay? And over time, trust will have been developed, and they open up. Open. I have been all over the islands preaching, and I know what I'm telling you. I could study all night and should have told you, give you a thousand pieces of information to back up what I'm saying to you. Many people often feel such things, you know. Words are a tray on which we string our feelings, emotions, our joys, our understanding, and our experiences. But at the end of the day, we have to listen so as to understand. We have to initiate. And every now and then the Lord will lead somebody to you. In the hope that you would have picked it up and do the right thing. You know how long I've been watching you? You're a Christian? Yeah. Can I talk to you? Yeah, we can talk. And he opens up to me. We became friends. He's a preacher tonight. In the church. Generally. Yeah. They come sometimes in the city. They leave before the service is finished. But at least they were present. I said, Lex. Huh? Keep going then. Let's wrap them identified. All right, then what do? Do we continue out of respect for your life, or do we close? Can you take me to the one with the body language? Let me just push through that.
5 or 10 more minutes.
You need another 5?
8:04.
Body language. Non-verbal.
You can't stop understand the person.
You got to, about how much more
I
slides?
finished now.
About, take us about how
What
much?
I should have said to you when I started, I should have said to you, give me an hour and I'll earn the rest.
All right. Go ahead.
But then you can print out if you want. You can make it available through web or through PK.
Not a problem.
Those are about language there. Yeah. And that's what we were talking about when she comes to you. How am I supposed to know that you can? Non-verbal? You never told me. Am I a mind reader? I don't suppose you see me as a mind reader.
But my actions will show it.
That's why we began by saying the non-verbal. The words, absence of words, no matter how much action you put on, can be misunderstood. Let me hear your voice. Yeah. If you said it more clearly, I would have certainly understood. You must remember that actions speak louder than words. Non-verbal communication usually is more powerful than verbal communication. You must communicate in ways that shows respect for others. Okay? I don't know, I can't read your mind. I said, yeah, some non-verbal. Yeah. Next. All right, she needs something there. You know, one of the interests, as I close.
Before you close?
Please.
Before you close. Because I'm trying to think about all the different aspects where we will need to communicate, not just in the home, but in our job, various spaces. There's somehow we have grown to become a selfish people. especially in Tobago, where here Valley, we become a lot more selfish. And persons are more fearful to communicate. So even if it's not just the ego, but it could also be a fear. Because on a job, there are certain persons on a job you're not going to share things with.
Certainly.
But you need somebody to talk to. Might be about something happening in the job. Home might not be a safe space because you may get back to all the things you're trying to share. So, how do we, as men, because I think men really have a problem with that ego and fear. How do we get over that fear factor in open? Because there are some men who are really genuine inside of them,
Certainly.
but they have to show a macho-ness because they are fearful
Not being seen as weak.
of just opening up. Now, you said earlier that some persons, when they feel comfortable, they will just start to share.
And it takes time.
It happens easier with females, as you said, that's the nature. But as an executive, especially about asking the question, we're trying to reach out to our men in serious ways and so on. Tips or advice in terms of attacking or addressing, not attacking, addressing the fear factor in men. Because we have trust issues too, right? In Tobago, especially, you want to share things with a neighbor, they might, probably take a different understanding and go elsewhere with it. So the fear factor as man.
What I would say, if you were to come up on that kind of situation, it's going to take some time. But trust is not something I give to you for. They are reposing you overnight. So it's going to take some time, okay, gradually, and you have to be incremental in terms of the information that you divulge, because you're testing the water as you go. And as the friendship develops, okay, and you come to understand each other, okay, he'll open up. He'll open up. So,
Doctor,
yes, sir.
I want to value at the macro level,
Yes.
because my experience, and I'm using the Tobago setting, is based on in-group output.
Yes.
Who you're comfortable with, who you think or perceive you to be, whether you are up here or down here, that's how people perceive you, so that your communication has to meet persons where they are. If you're up here and the person down here, you have to drop.
Yes. I'm the same.
Yeah, because what I found is that you go into one of the THA office or a government office, and they perceive you to be there somebody coming in. They treat you as though, well, you're bothering me. But somebody who comes in a tie, well dressed, okay, this person is coming for information that will do them, so I have to be at my best.
Best.
So,
Immediately, so you respect according to the individual.
yeah, it even happens in church.
Well,
People,
church is community, The folk
Yeah.
who are THA is in the church. When they
our
want to go to
brother
THA,
in the pew, they're not listening to you. You have to either have to be pastor or somebody with some kind of name.
well, that is what our society has become.
Yeah.
You see, that's what our society has become. If you don't have certain letters behind your name and you follow, you're not living a certain socio-economic thing, and then you go get some pressure there.
So what would you recommend?
Well, there is not much that you'll be able to do that because maybe it's on the other end. It's on the other end. When you come to me, my general manager, okay, it's on me to see what I afford to you and so on and so forth, whatever I look on at status. You follow? Check for that. So what do? You just got to be yourself. Be yourself and do what you got to do. Yeah. It's like a man who's well attired and the guy who's not well attired, the one who's well attired gets a job, but he's a scam. You just be yourself. You say, in our society, you're dressed to impress. Well, character is more than that. And character is what comes through at the end. So, if you're a man of integrity, character, and so on, regardless of your attire, in the end it will shine through. And the one who would have gone ahead, okay, been handling the job, give it to him or coming back down. All right, there's one thing I want.
What about dictionary?
Michael?
What about dictionary? How you speak? Instead of speaking the Queen language, you speak Creole. And the person on the other end will not tolerate that kind of reality of you speaking like that. I might think you are very low class.
You can get the Creole and get the English up there.
But no, the first impression.
Oh, well, I had mentioned. So you talk about lyrics
Yeah.
and coming up with the right word.
And how we speak it. Proper English, you know.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I said earlier that being a good communicator is not a gift. It's a skill. So it has to be developed. So if you know you're going after intellectual, everybody is an intellectual, you love her. You require some intellectualism, so to speak. Because, as I said before, the first word that you have spoken to her, that will resonate and stay with her. So then, is there anything wrong with speaking local parlance and all that? I don't think so.
Sometimes when you're comfortable with the other person, you tend to do that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no harm there. But if she's above you, way above you, you can't measure up, then she will leave you at home. And don't carry you along. No, she will tell that because honey, I was trying to find out from whether or not I could invite you to say no spouse. Finally, non-verbal communication. Has anyone ever been to Japan? No, Japan. Non-verbal is dangerous. If you go to Japan, you see a Japanese smiling at you, run. That is when he's going to kill you. Wow. When the Japanese smiles, you're in trouble. When he comes with you with stern face, you're in good company. They want the Japanese. That's a culture. Right? Anything else? Again, I want to close off with something. As we continue to be ecclesia, called out of God, gentlemen, let us be vigilant. Let us be on the lookout for those who are trying to reach us. Because they're convinced that we have something. Okay? That will benefit them. But when the Spirit of God will lead you and show to you that person. Yeah. Whether it's at home, in the community, at work. Why is it that one person with pestering all around? You want routine, you want to treat to the Donovan, what are you doing this weekend? He's trying to get you. Okay? There's a place where you can come to understand. See. Okay? And he's trying to connect with you. Because you have something that will make life better for him, especially in the church. And as I said before, I'm here tonight because I'm a little emaciated in the environment. Said to me, Derek Firestone, the Lord can use you. And I said to her, this day time, you're on the wrong side of the road. Go by the other side. And she continued. She continued. And finally, she conquered. How I know that? 46 years of ministry. Yes, God used her to tap on me. So I was not the kind of person to be missed. Have a nice evening, gentlemen. Many other questions. I'm so sorry about the time factor. We have to.
Pastor, one question. We talk about forgiveness.
Oh, yes.
I know the Bible says supposed to forgive 70 times 7, right? But if the person,
499?
yeah, and still counting. But if the person still continues,
No, sorry, go.
yeah,
Here,
yeah.
PK. What Jesus was saying. If your teeth, your mouth, it's not for her. Do I? This one's not there. If you steal your mother's milk or your mother's milk, okay? And she forgives you. has one for you. If you give the egg, it's not two. It's one for egg, one for you.
Right.
So by the time you catch up there, forgiveness becomes a part of your nature. You are telling me now.
Okay. So if the person continues making the same mistake and asking you to forgive them all the time, is there a point when there is no more forgiveness? Is it a willful practice? They're not.
Something's wrong with the person. What you have to do in that kind of situation is sit down with the person. Something's wrong. The person could be using to persecute you. You know the problem. The individual knows that, hey, the wisest thing to do is to extend. You follow? To accept. Sometimes the person can use that pressure. Forgiveness? Yeah? Really? Okay, I'll come back another boy. You begin to eat at him before long, you become very living. And it really, really pokey. Question?
My wife said to me one time, "You're always saying you're sorry." So I stopped saying I'm sorry now. You know, because you're always saying I'm sorry, so you don't want that answer anymore. But you continue the same thing again after you say sorry.
Well, if that happens, just tell her, I know you're sorry inside. I know you're sorry inside. Do I was sorry?
But
Just neutralize.
But what about trying to correct?
That if you don't say sorry, she would tell you out. Not even say sorry.
That's how you play them.
See, the female are mobile emotions. That's what they want. It's
You
going
can't
to
play
be
them when you're saying sorry.
Sometimes they don't have anything they need to do. You just hold their wire. You sure you're sorry?
But the Lord Peter said, right?
Yeah.
Likewise, you husband, wherewith the man going to marriage.
See?
Giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker person.
Yes, sir.
That your prayers.
Be not hindered.
So dwell with them according to
When she gets miserable, I just watch. Because it's in her nature. You see, if you don't understand it, they confuse you. They're females.
So
They're
that's
females.
so-
She's Aisha.
so it is important.
She's Aisha and you are Ish. You're born to lead. Okay? She's Aisha. She follows. But the society and the world and all equality and all of that and all of that. Yeah, and the home has become, the battleground as a result. That's all the while. Any other question then?
I have a question, Baba. I don't want the point that you made to go over our heads in that the communication is not a gift. It's a skill. And we have to be careful we consume. So sometimes, like for me now that I've come into the church, I don't have an appetite for idle company. So idle conversations are going nowhere. So I would more put on a sermon, a scripture, or something that the skill is developed based on what you consume. So it's important as men that we seek to consume things that will develop the skill. So I did go over our heads that is a skill and it will just come. It wouldn't just come.
No, it wouldn't come.
We have to work it into.
But that's a good point, you know.
Mhm.
You have
So I
to
just
learn
don't
the
want that
skill.
point to just.
So you can make the mirror in your room, and speak to the mirror. Great place to start. So you become your own critic. Okay, and you see the mirror, the individual. For example, when I was coming through the crucible, so to speak, when I found myself in the crucible, I used to go to the cane field. Because in Jamaica, you don't have anything wild and some people. So if you go in the cane field, there are no snakes or nothing like that too. And I would stay there, read, and pray, and talk to those kids. Because I'm developing. I'm answering my own questions. If you had passed by the Spirit of God, I gone on. Self-talk. It's a skill that has to be developed.
Practice makes
Yeah. All right. Thank you again for the invitation.
Patience is.
Pastor, thanks for having me. Appreciate being here every time. Thank you.
I must say, Reverend Doctor, what was taught by you here this evening, it was very much accepted, very much appreciated.
Stop it.
Yeah.